All right, let's go ahead and get started. First thing, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody, and I'm going to have you guys each introduce yourselves.
Hi, guys.
So we got first right here.
So my name is Zachary, a.k.a. Hercules on Instagram.
Check him out on
And,
Instagram.
Pretty new to the whole scene. So, yeah.
Yeah, so be nice. All right, the next guy we have.
Is that me?
Yep.
Hey guys, my name is Sawyer Dixon. You can follow me on Instagram at Sawyer SAWYER _ Dixon DIXON.
That's Dixon.
Exactly.
All right, and
With
then
an X.
yes, and then the diva we have in the back that wanted to be on top of everybody.
I'm Joe Woods. My Instagram is Joe_got_jacked. And my OnlyFans is at the better Zach.
That's pretty good. Now, why at the better Zach? I'm not gonna have. Ooh.
Yeah, why are you using my name in there, bro?
So why at the better Zach? Let's have Sawyer say why. Why the better Zach? You were talking about it earlier.
Oh no, I was. I have no clue why it's the better Zach.
Yes, you do. We were talking about how he looked like Zac Efron.
Oh yeah. He definitely. It's like here. Like
Yeah.
his eyebrows, his eyes. Like he's got some.
Like
pretty
from
eyes.
right here, from this angle on the TV.
Give him the eyebrow raise.
You see, that's like totally Zac Efron, but like good-looking Zac Efron when he was younger, not like the one that looks like right now. He looks.
I think Zac Efron's way better looking now.
Are you serious?
Dude, he looks mad
definitely.
weird.
He looks ragged, like
weird.
he's just been through some shit.
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, but it's like
It looks like he got like
it's
Botox
like
in his
maturity.
face
It's
or something.
maturity.
Yeah.
No, he's been living out in the jungle and
Too many roids.
Maybe he got bit by a
he's-
tarantula.
He got a bad batch of something,
Too
dude.
much HGH or something.
Oh, we got two people in here. Who's our second person in here?
Word.
Uh-oh.
WER.
W-E-R. Yeah, thanks for being here. All right, so we're going to keep on going here. You guys probably haven't seen, because I just started this, so you guys probably haven't seen any other ones that I've done before, which is cool. So I like to talk about pretty much everything and like what you've been through, why you started, why you're doing this, where you're from, stuff like that, just to kind of make you a little bit more human and not so just a piece of meat, even though you guys are meats. But just so that way people get to know you a little bit. God, you're blocking Joe when you do that. All right, so let's start off with Joe. So Joe, where are you from?
I'm originally from Boston.
Boston. You have that kind of accent a little bit, and now where do you live?
I live in St. Petersburg by the beach, Treasure Island.
In Florida?
Yeah, so it's like right under Tampa.
Oh, nice. So what made you go to Florida?
Oh, it's a long story.
Well, we got time. Give me the short version.
After college, I moved to San Diego with my ex. I worked at PlayStation there as a game tester, and then they got a promotion to Idaho, and we moved there. I had a house there, 3 dogs, big backyard. We split up, and my friend had got a house in Florida with 2 jet skis, so he's like, come down and move to Florida instead of moving back to Boston, so I did that.
The jet skis was the selling point on him.
For sure. We
Yeah.
went on the jet skis like every other day. It was so much fun.
Do you still have those dogs?
I only have one. I have Vader. He's half German Shepherd, half Belgian Malinois.
So was this a good move? Are you happier now, you think?
Yeah, I'm a lot happier. She has a kid, like 2 kids now, and a husband. Like 4 months after I left, she got married. So she just wanted kids, which I didn't want kids yet.
Yeah, no kids. So
Fuck them kids.
I know, fuck them kids. So you were in
We're gonna edit that one
you
out.
moved to Florida and you started working where?
So I had the same job that when I moved from Idaho. I worked remote for this company, Tandem Diabetes Care. And then one day I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I went and did personal training for a little while. And my boss, who's my good friend, got me into modeling. We went down to Miami during the hurricane and did a photo shoot.
And how did you like that?
It was great.
It was great.
And then the same friend got me into my current job.
Nice. And this current job is where you met somebody else on here, right?
Yeah.
Who did
the
you
star
meet?
of the show.
The
Sawyer.
star of the
The
show,
star of the
Sawyer. Okay, so Sawyer, where are you from?
I was born in Italy. Raised in North Carolina.
And now?
Most of my accent's from North Carolina. Now I live in Sarasota, Florida, which is south of Joe back here.
And so what made you go to Florida?
Oh man, it's a crazy ride to get there. So a divorce. I got divorced and started traveling. I was doing construction and traveled all around the world doing different construction job. Well, same job, but different contracts. And I lived in about 17 countries, 27 states.
Jeez.
And wound up in Hawaii. After Hawaii, went to California and just hated the people I was around. It's just very toxic, very, very, very shitty people. Most of my crew members who I was really good with, is the bosses that I really hated. But the crew members, they didn't want me there. Because they told me that, I have something that they don't have, which is opportunity to do more with their life, more with my life.
Right.
And then, at first I took it as an insult. And then after a while, I just kind of got to me and I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit, pursuing more artistic lifestyle. And had some friends in Florida. So I just went down to Florida and was down there for a little bit and ended up not needing cash, but I didn't want to blow through all my savings. So I actually started stripping.
Nice.
And that kind of changed my life around and
Now
thrusted me into the modeling world, the OF and everything of that nature, just the, pretty decent lifestyle.
Yeah. And then that's where you met
Joey.
No. Now.
Well,
yeah.
I met Joey there, and then now I came out here and I met this guy.
There you go. You see,
Pretty
it's
cool
all,
guy,
it-
yeah.
It's all
It's all
connected. It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all connected. So now we come to the baby of the group. Me.
Zach.
I'm just kidding. It's Zach. So Zach, not the other Zach, this Zach. Tell us a little about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm actually from Chicago, so very, very far from here. Very different weather and very, very cold during the winters.
Tell me what happened when you got off that plane.
I almost had a heat stroke. No, I didn't almost have a heat stroke, but it's definitely way hotter than Chicago. So
Yeah.
So
Is that where you're originally from, and you've been there the whole time?
my whole life basically.
Nice.
Illinois, basically. So
Yeah. And as far as like living there, is that where you want to stay, or are you trying to get somewhere else?
I definitely want to move somewhere hotter where there's not a bad winter. Maybe Texas, maybe Florida, but I have no idea yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in life. So
Don't move to Florida.
Yeah.
No, Florida sucks.
Yeah. Don't do it. Except Joe's there. That's the only positive thing about Florida.
Did we read N.O.'s
Oh.
comment?
We'll read it a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right. So, Zach, let's see. You are from Illinois. So, what got you into modeling? Like, what made you take that leap into like taking pictures?
So I started from posting on Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot, and getting a little erotic. And then I had people start to like pay me for special stuff and whatnot. So then I started realizing that I guess I kind of do look good and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started posting on Instagram, and then a couple photographers reached out. My first ever one was with Covet Image, based in Chicago.
Yeah, I know that guy.
My first ever one, and he did some really great work.
Yeah, he's good.
And he basically started it all at the end of the day.
Nice.
And then I posted those photos, got more noticed, and then went to Florida to shoot with Michael Downs. And then after that, I got into a motorcycle accident, so everything got postponed. And then here I am now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, because I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting story. All right, so so all you guys kind of left except for Zach. I mean, he's leaving and doing his stuff, but all you guys are trying to get out of your hometowns, trying to do something a little bit better. Do you guys ever come into anything like with, and I know you kind of, you talked about it a little bit, Sawyer, but like when you go back home, do you ever get into like where your friends are jealous and they tell you something like, oh man, you're just this, are you gay, you're a model, or, like they give you shit. Do you ever run into that? Because and I'm saying this only because I feel like when I talk to other guys that are from different cities or smaller cities or from other states that aren't Florida, Texas, or California, that it's always kind of met with a little bit of jealousy or looking down on. So whoever wants to go first.
So I'll start. I never really had like a close friend group, like even back home, high school, nothing. I had one friend that made in senior year, but I was a wallflower. I was outcast, very chunky, like just didn't fit in with anybody. And so to answer your question, no, because all my friends they're in this industry, they're in this world. And on the off chance that I do go back home, which is rare, it's like whenever somebody asks me what I'm doing, like I don't care who it is, what walk of life they do, I just tell them straight up. And for the most part, other than the extreme religious aspect of my family, everybody they love it. Like it just kind of throws them off a little bit at first.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everybody's pretty understanding. My father, who's a roughneck, has worked hard labor jobs his entire life, is ecstatic about it. He hated whenever I got into construction. He absolutely hated it. So, so it's actually been pretty
Pretty good
well
for
met.
you. Yeah. Also, good job at selling those feet. Those feet do come with pictures in different sizes if you go to his OnlyFans, so everybody will know. All right. So, Joe, tell me about you. Do you ever run into any shit talkers or people who try to make fun of what you do or anything like that? And if so, like, how do you handle it?
Nobody knows what I do, honestly.
No, they do.
They do not. None of my family.
I'm international, Joe. I hate
none of my
to for you.
family,
All 5 people.
No one really. I don't really follow anyone on Instagram who went to my high school or really college, and I don't really post anything on Facebook like that. And if people do view my story and stuff, and they're being haters, they're still viewing my story, so whatever.
Yeah.
But
Is that by choice though? Is that you just don't want people?
Yeah, because I just don't want the negative energy projected onto me.
Yeah.
My close, one of my best friends from high school was actually the one, he came up to go skiing with me in Jackson Hole when I lived in Idaho, and that's when I was breaking up with my fiance, and he's the one who brought me down to Florida.
Nice.
And he supports me with whatever I do, and my close, only couple close friends from college support me.
Yeah.
Whatever I want to do, and fuck everyone else from high school.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much
I
what
would
you have to
rather,
say.
when I go back and I, go into a store or something, and I go visit my family and I see someone from high school, I'm like, I do not want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Don't come up to me, please.
Don't do it.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
You're like, talk to me.
Showing off, yeah, because I don't even look the same.
You have like your headshots with your headshots with your signature on it.
Yeah.
Most of them, if they do see me, want to come up and they're like, whoa, you look great, Joe. And I'm like, now you want to be nice to me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. They're like, but you look like Zac Efron. Come on, take a picture with me. All right. So let's go with Zach now. Zach, I kind of feel like maybe you don't say too much to people. Or do people know about what you do?
All my stuff is out there anywhere. You could probably even find me on Reddit at the end of the day.
He is Reddit.
My parents know what I do. My mom knows what I do. They love that I'm I guess chasing my dream, not slaving at a 9 to 5.
Nice.
I guess. Very supportive. I keep my friend group small, and the 6-7 people that I do talk to, they're very supportive of what I do. They don't get jealous. I show them certain photos and they're like, the most they would say is I wouldn't pose like that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're really supportive, which is nice because it makes me want to go even more and take it farther.
That's good.
Otherwise, if I was fighting against a bunch of other stuff, then it would probably be harder, but everything's supportive.
That's
which
good.
Is good.
Yeah. I mean, that's really lucky because like I said, I usually kind of run into guys that come here and, they'll tell me that, guys will kind of make fun of them. When they go back home and just give them shit for what they do.
I think it just depends where you're from and where you're raised at and whatnot. I'm from Chicago, so I mean, there's no filter out there.
Right.
So
like it's a big city. It's not like you're from a little.
No
baby
one really
town.
cares what you're doing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, good. The other question is, which kind of coincides with this one, is like girlfriends. Have any of you guys run into relationships where that kind of hinders it? Zach, you go first. And just
I've lost 3 relationships since I've gotten into modeling in the last 2 years.
well, yeah. So, what was the underlying issue? Like, what do you think made them crazy?
Well, they know that I don't work and whatnot, like go to the job. So they know that I go to the gym a lot, and then we get like 3 weeks into the relationship, and I'm paying for everything and whatnot. And then the big old question gets popped, like, what do you do for your money and where do you work and whatnot? And then I'm an honest guy, so I tell them I do Twitter, I do the OnlyFans and whatnot. I model. And then after that, it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah. Anything with you, Sawyer?
Repeat the question, please.
Any girl problems?
I've definitely had 1 or 2 girls at the beginning. This is like during COVID that there was a hard stop for them. But for the most part, you know, I think that this business, this job, you know, even if you're not doing the OF or, you know, things of that nature, it's not really conducive for a long-term monogamous relationship.
Right.
Especially, you know, all the traveling and everything.
Do you think that the flirting also gets on there, gets crazy with them also?
You know, I had one relationship where, you know, I tried the testing out where, you know, she was running my OnlyFans and everything, and she completely hated it. And honestly, I hated it as well because, you know, I felt like there was a disconnect. You know, I felt like there was a lot less because I'm very big on the artistic aspect of it.
Right.
And I just felt like it just eliminated every bit of the artistic outlet.
Right.
You know, and that sounds crazy to say, you know, I'm posting on OnlyFans trying to be artistic, you know, this, that, and the third. But you know, there's a form of art that goes into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're creating content, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It may not be, you know, paintings, it may not be, you know, but you're still trying to put yourself out there, and you're still trying to get an audience to want to watch it, to interact with it. So saying that, I don't think is a bad thing. And Joe, you?
For like OnlyFans or for stripping?
Both. I mean, is it hard? Because I know you have a girlfriend, obviously. I mean, can I say that?
Yeah, my girlfriend comes to the strip club to see me. So
Right. And also, by the way, like, this isn't a strip club for women.
It's a men.
It's a men's strip club. So that
strip club.
Yeah. So that
And the star is Sawyer.
yeah. So that kind of helps though too, right? Because I mean, it's not women fawning all over you. It's men.
There's like 1% women that go there. Most of the women that you see are not women. I mean, they are women. They're
just transitioning
trans
or whatever.
women.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She gets annoyed when I tell her about things people say about me. You know, all girls like.
You're like, babe, it's not my fault. Like
she's like, I'm beautiful too. And I'm like, I know. I was just telling you something that someone said to me. She gets a little jealous in that way, but
yeah.
not really. Maybe that, like, when I go away somewhere, she's like, can I come?
Yeah. And you're like, damn it.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Puerto Rico. She's like, I want to go to Puerto Rico.
And
why do I have to stay and watch the dog?
That brings me back to my point that, you know, it is a very difficult job, even just the modeling aspect. You know, I was in a committed relationship for a good minute where, you know, I really kind of had to stop modeling, had to stop going places because of the mental state of my partner. And it's just, you know, either you're going to try to pursue a happy life in a relationship, or you're going to pursue a, you know, fulfilling life.
Well, and it hinders your growth, because the
does.
whole thing is like traveling, meeting other people, networking. And it does suck. Like, I mean, I have guys all the time. They're like, hey, can I bring my girlfriend? And I'm like, yeah, you can bring her, but I can't pay for her to come. Like, you know, I'm not working with her. I'm working with you. But if you want to bring her, you know, you can buy her a plane ticket and she can come with you.
Right.
But, you know, then they're like, well, the plane tickets are expensive. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm not going to pay. You're going to have to pay for her to come in. So, you know, but I get it though. You know what I mean? I mean, if I wouldn't probably want to travel anywhere without, you know, taking Ben with me, I'd feel bad. But I don't travel anywhere, so I don't have to worry about that. All right. So, so women problems. All right. So let's move on to, let's see. What was your first sexual experience, Joe? because as we're talking, we're going to get a little bit more deep into things and how you guys kind of got into OnlyFans, how you got into the adult industry, right? So, it's interesting to learn like the first time, like what your experience was with sex the first time, like if this kind of had any type of, I mean, and guys are different, obviously, and straight guys are way different, but like, just what your experience was like, and if it's somehow,
It was weird at first.
yeah. So, go for it, Joe.
I was so young.
My first.
Yeah, you were 18.
No, I was younger than that.
No, you were 18.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think we should talk about.
I think you're 18. Everybody was 18 when they did it the first time.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So Zach, you're the youngest one here. So what? This was probably like last year.
That was actually an audio from first time he lost his virginity.
Nah, it was when I was 15, so I'm 21 now. I was with a fat chick.
Getting ready to be 22 though.
Yeah, getting ready to be 22.
And when he says fat, he means PHAT.
yeah,
cushion
it
or
was
the
with
push-in?
it was with the
Was
bigger
that Joe
girl.
or Trey?
That was yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
So it was my 8th grade summer going into freshman year. It's pretty basic. I wasn't too pleased with it because of the chick that it was with. But after it got done, it basically sparked me to go get more. And yeah,
The bigger ones do more.
15 years old.
So
Wow.
compensating.
And how did you know this person?
We dated for about a couple weeks, maybe I would say.
Oh.
What position?
She was on top. That's why I didn't like it.
Wow. Well,
Mine was too.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so with those were do you think that, with those experiences, do you think they shaped you in any way, shape, or form? Like, do you think it had a lasting impression on something?
It made me realize to take control in the situations.
Right.
Are you asking everybody or just
everybody? That was a good answer.
Well, I obviously said that I was a sex addict for a while. But yeah, it definitely changed my life. It turned me into a sexual deviant, sexual individual, and like just wanted to try everything. So
yeah. And Joe, I think for Joe, I feel like when you were talking, like now you kind of search for those romantic connections as
I thought
opposed
you're
to.
gonna mean like the sexual part.
Well, just yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say
He's like-
sex is great. I love sex, but a good
Sex is
BJ,
good.
overrules sometimes,
Yeah.
depending on the BJ.
Yes. I mean, that's universal. He's speaking the universal language right now, Patrick. All right. Oh, yes. There you go. I love that. Okay, so now let's move into OnlyFans, and because kind of that's why you guys are here. Some of you guys. So before you get too far into your OnlyFans, one of the things that I always get asked is like the dangers or the do's and don'ts of OnlyFans, because I feel like a lot of people get into it and think it's like easy money at the drop of a hat, or they think they don't have that all it is just getting online and jerking off, and they're gonna make thousands of dollars, right? So another thing that I feel isn't talked about enough also is kind of like the predatory practices of other people who will reach out, and I've had a lot of people come to me about signing contracts with management companies, and if you have any experience with that, you don't have to name who they are, but just things that they need to be aware of before they
Just don't sign any contracts. You could do anything you're gonna do with a manager. You could do by yourself, 100% on OnlyFans.
I mean, even if you do have a manager, still don't sign a contract.
yeah
It's not worth it.
yeah
Back out at any point you want.
You can't even back out of it at any point you want.
If
Yeah.
you have
Once
a
you
contract.
sign it.
No
Once you
contract with
yeah,
this
you
guy.
can't.
yeah and I feel like it's just I feel bad for a lot of guys that get trapped into that, because it's kind of like a car salesman trying to sell you the 1975 shitty car, and they're talking it up like this is going to be the best car that you ever going to have. And, you know, if you buy it today, you're going to, you know, when you drive it off the lot, the price is actually going to go up, you know, that kind of
go down.
Turns out it's a lemon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
they rolled the miles back.
yeah, exactly. On the odometer. Yeah. So,
Like on what's that movie?
Matilda.
Matilda.
Yeah.
The dad just like
exactly. So, Sawyer, give me a something,
problem?
some advice or something that you've ran into and you're just like, you know, you're like, shit, I hope no one ever has to go through this bullshit like I had to go through, you know, in OnlyFans. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be management. It doesn't have to be, it can be anything. Just something that you just went through and you're just like, fuck, that sucked.
You know, like early on in my OnlyFans career, back in 2019, actually, like I jumped into a bunch of kinks, and it really opened me up and showed me how different people are, how different people think and everything. You know, the weirdest kinks, you know, not kink shaming, but, you know, it's just taboo, as in weird isn't taboo. But, you know, the biggest problem that I've had with, you know, creating content, you know, it's very difficult to keep it fresh, keep it new when you're doing just solos. And one of the hardest aspects of it is the mental decline. You know, like you lose every bit of your sex drive. You know, when you have to go and film this video for a client, you have to film, you know, photos and videos for your For You page. And that's definitely been the hardest thing for me. You know, that on top of, you know, dealing with the more or less the creeps who, you know, they're just trying to get the free stuff from you, and, you know, learning that at the beginning, that's a hard learn.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever somebody's promising you the world, you know, like they're like, oh, I want you to be my sugar baby. You know, I just want, you know, I want to see if, you know, you have all the right stuff. And
You
know,
believe it and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
oh yeah. Hey, you know, and they could be really convincing at the beginning. And now it's, you know, I've matured so much in this business that, you know, I can weed out the bullshit, which I would say probably like 92% of it is all bullshit.
Right.
Every bit of
there's
it.
dangling it over
Yeah,
here.
they're just dangling. And then
like a fishing lure.
even if they do give you a little bit, you know, it's definitely, you know, you're like, all right, there's going to be more coming. And then you start, the more you invest into it, the more you put your energy into it, the more they're going to draw back financially. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest aspects for me.
Was being realistic about the things that people were promising you.
That and just the mental decline.
Right. Well, I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
Some of the people that I help with their OnlyFans pages, you know, I have to tell them like, dude, like you have to do something different. Like, I know that, you know, like seriously, you've done that in that chair 5 times already. It's time to move on. I need you to go outside. I need you to go in your car. I need you to, you know, figure something out. Got
a little plug though. I just got back from Costa Rica, so I got a beautiful
massage.
Oh yeah, I got a beautiful video outside in the jungle.
There you go,
it
guys.
Was great.
It was great. Yeah. Go subscribe now. We'll put his thing on there. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be up.
It'll be up. All right, Joe, tell me any advice that you have for something that you probably thought, fuck. I mean, I know you're really new to it, but being so new to it and, you know, just starting, what do you find the hardest thing is right now?
I was gonna mention something more like what he was saying about people like promising you a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
More like with the stripping, when you meet someone, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna make you, you know, I'm gonna make you a millionaire."
Yeah.
And like they bring your hopes all the way up, and you're like, "Should I really be like getting my hopes up for this person?"
Right.
And then they don't, you know, nothing comes through. And
Right.
It's like, you know. It's a high. Your serotonin goes really up for a second.
It does.
And then they bring it down.
Yeah, yeah. And then you, Zach. I mean, you've been doing it a little bit longer, not as long as Sawyer.
Well, I took a big hiatus for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
Really big hiatus.
I've been on a hiatus as well.
Right.
But just stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. Feel free to copy other people's ideals. That's what everyone does at the end of the day. Don't sign any contracts. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Just do your own shit. Stay in your own lane. Do your own content. And
You'll be good.
post every day. Something.
Yeah.
And
Anything,
collabs.
honestly.
Collabs. You know, that's the
Damn,
best way.
Sawyer, you're looking great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle.
It's like a sexy Jesus.
Yeah. So
But yeah, going back to the collabs, you should definitely, if you're trying to get into this business, you want to try to collab, even if you know, like it's.
well, and that's
not
what I was.
your thing.
That's what I was gonna say next. Is like one of the biggest things that I feel about growing your fan base and growing your brand, so to speak, is networking and meeting people and collabing with people. And it doesn't even have to be sexual. You
No,
know,
yeah,
it
I
can
was gonna
be
get to
just doing pictures like we did today. It can be, TikToks. It can be Instagram. Anything to kind of get people together and bounce off ideas with each other. So I always tell guys, like, I know you want to stay in your own lane, like not like that, but you want to just be your own entity. But like it does help when you meet other people, and also with photographers, working with different photographers and making sure that they're not like sleazy photographers, but making sure you're working with photographers also to get your stuff out. You know what I mean? To get to pump out that content.
Talking about sleazy photographers
look.
over here.
He likes that fade.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you.
So yeah. So okay. So then tell me a positive since you've started this positive, something positive about OF that you're happy that you're doing it. Y'all are all sad. There's no positive. We're done.
I don't know. Money, exposure. That's really it. Nothing really positive about doing OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Definitely
a confidence booster.
Yeah,
When
it
someone tells you
definitely is a
you look like a
confidence
Greek god or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that question and gear it more towards the stripping, because me and Joe both strip.
Right.
It definitely changed my life a lot. One, the money, having the money right then and there, and I'm more of an in-person kind of individual. The whole social media and everything is very difficult for me.
Right.
But just the life experiences that I've gained just from that. I did my first photo shoot because of stripping, which got me into LA Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Miami. Traveled all around the country doing that. That's kind of like my happy places whenever I'm traveling. And then it also showed me that, because I have no rhythm. I cannot, if you put me on a dance floor, try to get me to dance to some hip hop music or some opera or whatever, like any kind of music, I just can't dance. But I'm known to be one of the best dancers at the club that I work at. I found
Definitely an entertainer.
I'm not a dancer. I'm an entertainer.
Yeah.
I do a lot of pole work, a lot of acrobatics. And that really is like, I have a tremendous amount of joy. Whenever I can get up there and learn a new trick and, and it feels so good whenever, people are coming up and tipping me and telling me like how great of a performer I am. So that's one of the best parts. They say thank you with that tip. They say you're a great performer with that tip. So at the end of the day, it goes into my bank account, but I look at it as more like brownie points. Look at it as more like that coin that you get in a video game.
Right. Right.
It's definitely hard to be on the stage with Sawyer for sure. Because
like,
usually I'm the star of the show when I'm on the stage, and then when I'm on with him, just all the cash is going to him.
How many times have I kicked you in the head?
None.
None? Oh, you're one of the only dancers I've been kicked in the head.
Yet.
To be continued.
Yeah.
Zach, you're adorable.
Oh.
Hold on, which one's Zach? This Zach?
This Zach or the other Zach?
Yeah. the better Zach or the real
Or the real
Zach?
Zach. All right. So, Zach. Oh wait, well, I want to talk about the stripping thing because I know that.
Where do you strip, Kyle?
Kyle strips?
DC.
Oh, I was gonna say Chasers in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think they're closed now.
So going back to stripping, because stripping is a lot of hands-on with the clients, right? So I feel like that's kind of a different animal because number one, guys are horn dogs for like. I always tell guys, straight guys, when they're going to work with gay guys, just think of yourself as the most beautiful woman in the room, wearing a bikini or a thong, walking around, and you have the horniest group of guys just trying to get you, right?
Yeah.
How do you handle those situations when they occur?
Maturity. As a baby stripper, terminology is just like a new stripper, obviously. But when you're a baby stripper, you're going to be accosted. You're going to be groped, taken advantage of a lot. A lot of people are dangling that carrot. They're like, oh, I got this for you, blah, blah, blah. And, it's easy to lose your morals, lose, like
your limitations.
Your limitations.
Yeah.
And, it just comes with maturity. It comes with being in the business for a while, learning more about yourself and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Right.
So, I mean, that's...
And have you ever run into a situation, Joe, where something has occurred to you and you're like, you don't touch me like that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, at the beginning, I was definitely way more...
apprehensive.
I don't know, way more...
accosted.
I don't know, like I would want to fight someone if they were...
If they were too touchy?
Yeah, but now it's just a lot easier. You mature for sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, Anna, we strip at Johnson's, Tampa.
Yeah, there you go. Johnson's, Tampa. Yeah, you'll see him.
And occasionally in Fort Lauderdale.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Same company.
Yeah. And I think that's true too. Like you get a little bit more mature and you know how to handle those situations as opposed to getting pissed off and, wanting to pull their head off.
Definitely sometimes it is well deserved to get pissed off, but you have to know when to make a scene about it.
Right.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah,
whenever they really cross the line.
Yeah. So
rather than just like kind of moving their hand.
a few weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago, I was down in Fort Lauderdale at one of our locations, and it was the end of the night, and I'm like, all right, I had my buddy there. I was kind of teaching him how to really be aggressive at it.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, it's end of the night, last stage set. Let's go walk around in our jock straps. So if you don't know what a jock strap, well,
they're gonna know. They're gonna know.
Yeah, you guys know what a jock strap is.
We're not on Lifetime.
Yeah. So me and my buddies walking around in a jock strap, and I'm engaged in a full blown conversation with an individual, and somebody comes up behind me, older man, drunk, sticks his finger, and I mean like to the knuckle, almost down to the bottom knuckle, all the way in there. And I turned around, made a big deal about it, and then he started cussing at me and throwing slurs at me, and telling me how I'm so unattractive, this, that, and the third, which is huge. It's super common. Like when you turn somebody down or you put somebody on the spotlight, and then their first instinct is to tell you're ugly anyway, this, that, and the third.
That's why I stick with the dongs.
Yeah. I mean, that is true, but
it's a block.
Yeah. So like, I mean, and the guy was like trying to fight me. I'm like, all right, well, we can get the police here and, tell them about how you sexually assaulted me.
Right.
And then like, he's like, coming at me, and luckily in Fort Lauderdale, we have a phenomenal bouncer, and he just jumped in and like escorted the men out.
Right.
Yeah.
To control the situation for you.
But there are good people in this business. Like there was an older individual. He's seen everything. He's seen everything go down, and he comes up to me and he's like, "I'm so sorry that you had to go through that." And we had a like heart to heart. And I'm like, honestly, I hate to say it, but it's a pretty common thing. And he ends up giving me a tip, and
you're like, all right, I'll take 2 knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to go cash out my money, and I pulled that tip out, thinking, he's probably like a 5 or a 10, maybe a 1.
Right.
If I'm lucky, it'll be a 20.
Right.
And it was 2 $100 bills, and it just like it didn't make the situation
Better, but still.
but it made me realize there are good people who go to these clubs and everything. So yeah.
And Zach, for you, because you've been kind of on and off with your OF, what's kind of like your kind of tipping point with people that message you? Like, do you have a limit of what you'll do, or do you have
the only thing I don't
card.
really do on OnlyFans is guy with guy stuff, and I don't put stuff up my butt or anything like that.
Right.
It's kind of where I draw the line.
Nice.
That's really it.
Give it time.
Yeah, but you've never had anybody like be aggressive with you, or like tell you like, dude, come on, for $10.
Oh yeah, I mean all the time, especially
Yeah.
when you sell side content.
Right. Oh.
No, not at all.
Oh, Kyle's not feeling too good right now.
Oh,
Hope
sorry
you
about
feel
that,
better, Kyle.
Yeah.
Feel better.
No, I've been reading everything you've been posting on there. We definitely love the engagement. Oh, I missed Anna's though.
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, I feel like
I see
one of the
that,
things that happens a lot of times is customers don't realize that you're actual people, right? That you're
Yeah.
like, look, I don't want to shit on on my underwear and send it in a fucking Ziploc bag to you.
What
Like,
up,
that's not gonna
Spitball?
happen.
Hey, Spitball.
You know what I mean?
Anna's
So-
still here too.
Oh, yo,
Yeah.
yo.
They're still here.
I see you, Anna. Spitball.
Yeah.
I like that name. That's one of the most unique names I've seen in a while.
You know what's really cool? Like, I don't know about Fort Lauderdale because they're a whole different breed down there, but at least at
Yes.
Tampa, like, I didn't think that, like, if you think about female strip clubs, it's kind of really doggy dog, but we're all great friends.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, most, like, 99% of us would, like, all back one of us up if anything
1000%.
happened. Like, you wouldn't even need the bouncer. We would all just grab the guy.
Yeah. And I feel like guys are different too. Like, we're not petty and jealous. I mean,
Yeah.
straight guys, by the way. Let's reiterate that, because
Yeah.
I feel like if it was a bunch of gay guy strippers, it would stop.
I know.
All right.
What are we? Oh, I tried painting my toes one time, and I absolutely fucking hated it. I only paint my nails for aesthetic. I just love it. I feel naked whenever my nails are blank.
Right.
It's like having tattoos. If you just woke up one day and you just didn't have tattoos, you just feel naked. But yeah, same thing with my nails. But it's just because it looks horrible, and also guys who like feet, they don't really like the painted nails.
So one of the other things that we had been talking about is kind of like our price points for things, right? Because there's a price. I mean, honestly,
Everything has a price.
I know that we don't want to stick things up our butt,
Everything.
but if there was a price, me $5, I'm in for anything. Let's do it.
We've heard that several times, Trey. Several
Yes,
times.
yes.
Trey.
Yes, okay, I know. I'm all $5. Let's do it. What do you want me to do? Okay, so let's say that I'm sure you get propositioned a lot, especially at the strip club, because you're right there. And not that you guys would do that, but let's say that some man who's like a millionaire comes up to you and he's like gives you that indecent proposal. You know what that is, right? Just to
Yeah.
spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna say it like that, so that way people,
So one of the biggest things about that, is the law.
right.
So that
What law?
The law.
Well, if you listen to the conversation, you'll pick it up. We'll send you a recording later, Joe. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the biggest thing for me, because I've been offered ridiculous amount of money. So just for somebody to give me fellatio.
There you go. That's a good word.
Yeah.
That's a good vocabulary word, guys.
Vocabulary.
Yes.
Um,
SAT word.
yes.
Yes.
So for somebody to give me fellatio, it was offered $25,000. All right. So, and that's kind of like my base point. Like I'm like, this guy's willing to pay that. So I should be able to get a lot more than the average person for lesser things.
Right.
So,
But is that your limit? Like, that's where the wall hits, right? Or if someone came to you and was like, hey, I'm going to give you $26,000.
So the all right. So
Instead of
the
25.
$25,000. I was heavily contemplating it.
Yeah.
Heavily contemplating it. I mean, I don't know any individual
Show
who would
me
say
the money.
no to $25,000. One of the biggest things,
To
like
do
I
what?
just said,
To do what?
fellatio.
What is
Fellatio. I
that?
mean, it's the act of giving
oral
oral sex
sex.
to a man.
Okay.
Cunnilingus is the opposite. It's the act of giving
Oral sex to a woman.
to a woman.
Okay.
Yes. The more you
The
know.
more you know.
Okay.
There you go.
So yeah, that was the biggest aspect, and I never said no. So
Right.
I never said no. I just never did it. But I was honestly
You're lucky we weren't
terrified.
friends at that time, and I was with you because I would have like been like, bitch.
Put a blindfold on him.
I need
and
you to
Trey
do
can
it.
Go in there. I'll give
No,
him
I would have been
$5.
like, I would have okay. Just give me, just give me the just give me the $5, and you can keep the $24,995. Okay, so Zach, what would your cutoff point be? Like,
To do
what to do anything? Like, what's your like? I mean, you already talked about like doing stuff, but like if somebody propositioned you,
You honestly don't know, right? Until
Until
the
it
time
happens.
comes.
right? Like, have you ever had anybody proposition you on OnlyFans? I'm sure you have.
Not a
Muscle
crazy,
worship.
not a crazy amount of money like that.
Yeah. But like if they said like, hey, bro, I'll fly you to, New York City for a night, and all I have to do is
I get that all the time.
all I want to do is lick your feet.
I get that all the time.
Hey, if anybody wants to do that, I'm free. I love my feet being licked.
Is
I
that
love
something
it.
that you would do?
I've done it a couple of times. It just kind of depends who the person is, and if we built up a little bit of trust, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Would you say it's difficult for you, just like for the New York aspect, like flying all the way over to New York? Do you think that would be difficult, meeting somebody you've never met?
Yeah,
Like, you'd
I'd rather have them
to you.
come to me. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, if
Right.
you're in my city and you want to do that, I'll have some stuff set up. Yeah.
Some incense.
No, I meant like
Oh.
like people knowing where I'm at. Probably somebody in the parking lot waiting for me, so that way because it is a shady world.
Yeah, it
a
is.
shady world.
I had a guy that did do it, but I made him convince the other guy to fly a friend with him also. Because I was like, dude, take somebody with you and like have them stay at the same hotel room and like just have them outside the door waiting the whole time. And if he pulls out a saw to saw off your foot, like I just want to take some pictures. Yes, exactly.
I got that reference.
So did you ever do anything like that, Zach, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
It's good money though. I mean,
It is. It is.
it's feet. Don't understand it, but
One
everybody has their thing.
One thing that I really wanted to get into, which I've touched on just a little bit, is the muscle worship.
Yes.
Muscle
I
worship,
love that.
feet worship. Like honestly, like if it's to the average person non-sexual,
Right.
like I'm 100% in. If you want me to sit on balloons, I'm down. I love that shit.
Sit on balloons.
Or
It's
cakes.
a big kink. No, a cake would be considered in the wham, the wet and messy, which is one of the first kinks I ever got introduced to.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though, like, cause it's a predominantly female ran.
Right. Right.
You can find women all over the internet doing it, but you don't find a lot of guys. So the gay guys who are into wham, they love to pay for it.
So I should go buy some balloons tomorrow. That's what you're saying.
Well, that's
and wham and some
yeah.
like cakes.
Yeah, cakes, pies, syrup. I could teach you how to make the green slime. I did quite a few videos. I'm selling them at a discounted price on my OnlyFans. You just got to hit me up about it.
There you go. Always plugging.
Always plug.
Always plugging.
Name of the game, baby.
That's right. Well, that's cool. Not Zach, Joe, because I'm thinking of the other Zach.
The better side. I'm kidding.
So Joe, have you ever done anything outside of your comfort zone that you're like, okay, I can do this, but it's for, X amount of dollars. I can do it. And it doesn't have to be with somebody else. It could be something on your own. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be like, have you ever done foot stuff?
This guy wanted me to step on his face
Oh, I remember that.
at the club.
I love when they want that.
This guy, this couple the other day, like on Friday night, wanted me to come back to their place and fuck them they started at 5,000 and they went up to 20,000. I said no.
Again, lucky I'm not there. I'll take $95. Yeah, I mean it's weird. I mean, I'm sure you guys get asked a lot of kinky things to do.
But the thing is, when people offer you something like that, and it's like, if you have the cash, like you open a briefcase, like,
right?
You know what I mean, like
It's a brand new car.
Here's 50,000 right here. You're looking at it.
Right.
It's different if they're like, oh,
I can give it to you because it's not going to
20,000,
happen.
Come back, we'll do it, and I'll give you a 20,000. You're like, yeah, sure.
No, I need to see it.
What are you talking about? I mean, it's different if it was like that. I mean, not in that scenario, but I'm just saying, like, you know, when you think about the money, about, you know, your bills and things like that. Like when you were younger, you know, someone's like, oh, how much to do this? You're like, 50 million. And like nowadays, you're like, not 50 million.
Yeah, maybe 50,000. Maybe 50 cents.
Trey,
So
we're not on your price point.
I know. I'm so cheap. I'm such a cheap whore. All right,
Exactly.
whore.
Show me the
cheap,
money,
dirty
Anna.
whore. Yes. All right. So last thing I want to talk about with you guys, and then we'll be done. Cut off is
I
kind
like
of
this.
It's fun. Then when you guys come back individually, if you ever come back, we can do individual ones. This one's a little bit tougher because there's 3 of you guys, but I thought it would be fun to do all 3 of you guys together. All 3 together. So what I want to know is, I know that you guys are all straight, right?
I'm gynosexual.
Right. So explain to our viewers who don't
What
know
is gynosexual?
He's bisexual, you know, buy him something and he'll do something sexual.
Wait, let me do this. Is gynosexual where you're attracted to femininity?
That's exactly it.
Right.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter the gender. It's you're attracted to the femininity of it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have another friend who is a friend of mine, Bax, who's that same thing. Like he's into
What does that necessarily mean?
So
Like transgender?
it could be a guy too,
transgender,
but if a guy's like
guy.
super feminine, just a really feminine guy,
Yeah.
it's the femininity,
It's the beauty.
the
For
beauty,
me,
the
it's
meekness,
the beauty.
the soft skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, back to what I was saying. What was I saying? So you were doing that. So then we have Sawyer who's attracted to femininity, but then we have Joe who's straight and Zach who's straight. So do you ever feel like because you obviously have to be super gay friendly, right, to be in this business?
1,000%.
Because there's no way that you can't be. Do you find that to be like when you first started? Was that a very difficult struggle for you? Sorry, Reed.
Miss Trunchable.
Yeah.
We love that.
Was that a struggle for you when you first started? Because I know that if you're not around it all the time, or if you're not in it and then you start doing it, it can be a little bit of a learning curve, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm not gay, but I'm doing
$20 is $20.
Right.
It was definitely weird at first, especially because me and my friends used to like make fun of it a lot.
right.
Which now that I look at it now, like a couple years ahead, I don't know why I did that. You know, it's kind of rude and stuff, but
Right.
it's just, how it was. I don't know.
As a person, you grow. You know,
Yeah.
like I mean, like I was the same way as a kid. You know, like I fought my sexuality for the longest time. And you know, like I grew up, like I was thinking that like my sexuality was gay. You know, like there was either straight or gay. There's nothing in between.
Right.
And it took me a very long time to realize, you know, like kind of be more comfortable with it. So yeah.
And Joe, with you, like you started doing you came from California and then Idaho and Boston. Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure there was probably
I was actually made fun of throughout high school for being gay.
right. I remember we talked about that.
Because a rumor was made up about me freshman year. And, you know, it's funny because, like, all the people who actually came out as gay were, like, highly praised. But then...
They picked on you.
Yeah, I was picked on constantly all throughout high school.
That's crazy.
It's, like, you know, everything was, that's gay, this is gay, it's like, why is gay a derogatory term? You know?
Right. And now that you're kind of in the scene and you're
I was gonna say that's why like when I go back home, I really don't want these people seeing the stuff that I'm doing because I really don't want to be. I knew it was gay.
right.
It was gay."
Well, it's that ignorance too because they
Yeah.
don't get out, they don't meet people,
They're idiots. Like I don't want to deal with their crap.
Right. But and now that you're performing, because a lot of the stuff that we did today in the photos, it's not gay per se, but it's a little bit more.
Maybe to like an outside stance.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you're looking in, you're like, oh, fuck, I knew it was gay.
Yeah, I mean,
But like we made some really great fucking pictures today.
oh god, yeah, they were.
And
fucking
so like
phenomenal.
I think that I would hope that it breaks down that norm, that stereotype, or that norm of like being oh well they're gay because they're touching each other, or they're gay because they're standing next to each other, or it doesn't have to always mean that. It can just be a masculine picture of three guys together in a pose, looking masculine. It doesn't have to be,
I swear that the people who like made fun of like who are so homophobic are actually gay themselves.
right. And usually, I mean, that's the case
They just,
usually.
like, they're pushing it down.
we
that's
will
gay.
be posting this.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It'll be posted.
Like they don't. They're not comfortable with their own sexuality.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And that was the next thing I was going to ask you. And Zach, you kind of answered that, was like, now being in here, has your views changed onto how you view the community that you're kind of like in,
Well, my views changed about 2 years ago when I first got into this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it definitely changed since I got like actually opened up to it. Cause like I used to think if someone was gay, like they would always try to hit on you, or like they would just want you or stuff like that.
Right.
But that's not the case. They're like human too,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it's true. I mean, we are sort of sometimes. So
Whenever I piggybacking off of what he just said, whenever I first started modeling, it's very difficult. Like whenever it was like a very openly gay photographer, because it was just like kind of uncomfortable. Because it's same premise, thinking that when you get there, like, it's just gonna be him trying to accost you,
right.
and like just like making you feel very uncomfortable. So I was like at the beginning of my modeling career, like I was very like standoffish, and like I would kind of cancel plans last minute.
Right.
But then I started diving into it. I was more comfortable around in the gay community and everything, and then realized that it's not like that. Like they're running a business. They're here taking photos,
Right.
and I'm just their product. Now you do have those photographers out there that they
Are a little touchy.
yeah, a little touchy, and like definitely try to push the boundaries.
Right.
And we're not talking about those. We're talking about legitimate
ones, yeah.
photographers. Yeah. So Trey, you're out. No, this one. No, Trey's great. Trey's great.
Well, cool. I feel like one of the big things with the gay community, especially like working with straight models, a lot of straight models that I work with are perceived to be straight guys. I get a lot of shit from people who are like, oh well, they're just using our gay dollars, or they're just trying to
Gay baiting.
and all this other stuff. And I don't agree. I feel like that if there wasn't a audience for it, then you guys wouldn't be successful.
1,000%. I feel like it's more of a play on their part. Wanting a straight guy. It is that it's definitely a big aspect
Right.
of this business. Gay individuals wanting straight guys.
Right.
It's like like for straight guys, a lesbian, like it's like the same thing.
That's the same thing.
Same thing.
And I try to tell people, guys, it's like, this is all fantasy. You're living out your fantasy by watching these guys. And if you didn't want to watch it, then don't watch it. Like that's pretty much how it is. If there wasn't so much money in it, straight guys, wouldn't be doing it. But there is. And if you're comfortable with your sexuality and you're comfortable with yourself, you should do it.
Yeah. I've learned so much from the gay community. It's I feel like gay men take way better care of themselves than straight men.
Oh, yeah.
They take care of their skin.
I feel more special when I get a compliment from a gay guy, because
Oh, exactly.
I know that they're way more picky in their taste.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're so hot. They're like, what about my friend? Is he good looking?
No.
No. Oh, gross.
Hey, does this outfit look good?
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
no.
What, for dumpster diving?
You're going thrifting later.
They have way more energy. You ever seen a gay man yawn?
Oh yeah, no. That's I remember that one.
What?
That was on
Actually, I don't think I have.
Yeah, that was on that podcast. What's his name?
That's
say?
What's his name's podcast? Yeah. I do. I get mad when some people
Now I
yawn.
really have to yawn. So
When gay
bad.
guys yawn.
But wait, I was gonna say one more thing. Like, I feel like when you were younger and like, you know, you were dancing or something like that, or like you wore a certain thing that like looked really good. Like everyone's like, oh, that's gay. You know, oh, he's gay. Like you're like nowadays, like when I'm in the gym, sometimes I'm like dancing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, you know, I
Right.
feel like gay men don't give a fuck about what anyone thinks, and it's so much better. Like rather than that guy like, am I gonna look gay?
Yeah.
Like,
And-
who
and-
cares? Like,
Yeah, and it makes me happy when I talk with guys who like, because I feel like it's like it's this ally thing, you know what I mean? And I feel like if more straight men, you know, took down their guard a little bit and went out and meet other guys or meet gay guys or make friends with them, they would see life a whole lot differently, you know, especially around other people. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have. I'm done talking because I'm tired, and I want to thank you guys for sitting down and talking to me. I know that this was all new, and I kind of didn't tell you guys about it until I told you guys were coming. But everybody that was here, thank you for listening. I am going to post this on OnlyFans, and I'm going to try and give the guys the video that I did with the camera, so they may have it on theirs also. But yes, this will be on online. Also, yes, we did take pictures today. We're taking pictures again tomorrow. So we have a lot of stuff. A lot of content's going to be coming from me and all of them. So if you want to see more of them, I'm going to put their ats on the comment section, so that way you guys could follow them. And go follow them on Instagram. Go follow them on Twitter. And I'm going to give you guys one more time to kind of shout out your Instagrams, because that's probably where they're going to be able to find you the easiest. So go for it.
So my Instagram is Hercules_5.0_.
There you go. Next.
Kyle, is that a promise? Because I really want some chicken nuggets now, and it's all your fault. So my Instagram is Sawyer SAWYER. I think _Dixon DIXON. Either the underscore is either in the middle or it's at the beginning. I can't really remember, honestly. So
Again, I'll put that stuff on there too. And if you go to my Instagram, if you're following me, you can get them from there too. And then last but not least,
mine's Joe_got_jacked.
there you go.
And my OnlyFans is @thebettersack.
There you go. All right, cool. Well,
we
thank
got
you.
you, Kyle.
Yeah. I'll text you, Kyle, in a little bit. All right, sweet. Thanks, everybody. And everybody have a good night.
Peace,
We
guys.
out.
Ciao.
Sweet. Yay, that's it.
I really enjoyed doing this.